Good morning, this is Bev from Art by Bedell, and for this morning's prompt for Junk Journal January, on January 25th, we have ombre. And I'm going to work on these 2 pages here in my journal today. The color I have chosen is the Cerulean Blue Hue by Liquitex. And I have some white gesso here. I also have some Payne's Gray here so that we can make our variations of this blue color, the shades of this blue color. I have a little palette here and my palette knife to get my paint mixed up. I'm going to start with blue, and I may mix up my paint right on my pages. I'm not quite sure yet. But let me get some paper between here to protect the pages on either side here. And then I'll start in the center of this page here with my blue. And I'll just put a nice little stream of it there. And I'm going to just take my palette knife and spread this out like this. So I have a base to begin with. That will be my pure color here, and then I'll add the white to get the lighter color. And over here I'm going to take what's on my palette knife and I'm just going to spread it around just to use it up like that. And I'll also have a little cleanup kitchen towel here, a paper towel, to get some of this paint off before I go dipping it into my white gesso. So now I have my white gesso, and I'm going to take some of that and I'm going to put it right here at the bottom of my blue. And then I will spread that down like this. And then in doing that, gather some of the blue above and start mixing it together to get my shade of blue here. There we go. So then on the top, I'm going to have less of the black because the black is going to end up going a long way. What I want to do, which is what I should have done here, was start with the white and brought it up. I'm going to start up the top with the black and bring it down. I want my purest black up here, and then I want to mix it down here. So I'm going to need a little bit more paint than that. And if you can hear Sammy, which I'm sure you can, she is still busy with that peanut butter jar. And then I'll bring some of the blue up. And then in the middle here, I'll mix them. I'm going to get my color mixed up. So my black is on the top. I'm actually quite happy with that. Okay, let me wash my brush. I want to mix this in with the blue by bringing the dark blue down a little bit. And then I want to end up with more white like what I did at the top with the blue. So I'll just take my excess paint and smear it around over there. I think I'll find even another piece of paper. Take a piece of ledger paper because I'm having a lot of paint here. And I'm just going to take it and smear some of my paint on it like this from my brush. And let's see if we can't bring that blue down. There, it's working out all right as far as I'm concerned. And then mix it over here. Let's get rid of some more of the paint first. Mixing it over here. We're getting some nice swirly texture. Get rid of more of the paint again. And then I'm going to end up with a lighter color down at the bottom. And let me get some more white right across here. And then bring it up. I am liking that. The transition isn't perfectly smooth, but I'm really okay with that. I don't really mind. More paint over here. Trying not to waste any of this paint. And I think I'm going to leave it because I'm afraid if I'd like to get like the lines removed from here. I'm afraid if I work on it too much, I'm going to make it worse. So I'm going to leave it the way it is. I don't mind it at all like that. So there's our ombre, guys. And over here we have this really juicy looking page. I'm just going to smear out some of the thicker parts of the paint so it has a better chance to dry. I don't want it all to dry because I want to make some marks in it, and I want to do it when it's partly dry. So I'm gonna let that partly dry and then I'll be back. Okay, let's see. This is dried somewhat. I just want to make some scratches, some lines, see what we can do. And just to add a little bit of interest, maybe take some of that lighter blue up there and the black. And then over here, see if we can do the same. Now this was thinner, so it's not going to spread quite as easily. So I will take my heat gun to it. Okay, it appears to be all dry. I have chosen several papers. One of them is from a gift that a friend sent me. Thank you, Anna. A whole package full of journal cards and die cuts, and really, really nice. So I do want to use that on there. And then I have, it's going to be a butterfly page, guys. Can you tell? I have all these pieces of ephemera of butterflies. Now we'll see how much I actually use in it, but I usually pull out too much. So before I do that, I'd like to make my backgrounds a little bit more interesting than what they are right there. So I'm going to take my gesso and my palette knife, and I'm going to just blend this in somewhat. Now I have made my prompt. It's ombre. I have made it. Now if it's still there in the end, so be it. If it's gone, so be it too. But at least I have made it and satisfied my prompt, right guys? But I'm going to use it though as a background for my page. So we have the scratches that are going to show when I add this gesso, and we're going to blend in. Some of that wasn't quite dry, so we'll blend that in a little bit more. We're going to go up, we're going to add some to the black, and we're just going to create a really fun background for my butterflies. And as you see, the ombre is being hidden, but it's okay. But look at all that texture from when we added that paint, and we did it in a swirly motion. I'm just loving that down there. So for this now, I also want to add like a complementary color or a contrasting color. And I have been liking blue with orange lately. So I could do that with watercolors, and I think I will. I'll have to let the acrylics completely dry, so I'll take the heat gun to it once again. So I'm thinking maybe I'm not quite ready to add the orange yet. I have this ledger paper that I was scraping the paint off onto, and I'm thinking maybe I will add a little bit of collage before I go to the orange. And I have some of this butterfly ephemera here that I could add. I do it at the top. There we go. Let's just tear this off. All right, so I'm going to add this all on with my matte medium and a palette knife. Oh, let me see. Let's just use this palette knife because it's clean. Now, you don't have to do this with matte medium. You can do it with whatever glue you have. I just had my matte medium sitting out from a project I did the other day. And so it was there. It was easier to grab. And I'm going to use it. right, so we're going to stop with that, with the collage papers for now. I added a few flowers because all butterflies need flowers, right? And I'm going to go back to adding a little more gesso now around all of the edges and try to pull all those edges in together like so. And it doesn't matter that my matte medium's not totally dry because it's just going to all work out. All right, now before I go on with my next step, I want to make sure that everything is dry. We are dry once again, and now I want to do mark making. And yes, I will get back to my orange. It's just that I decided I wasn't quite ready for it yet. I want to add some black marks. I'm going to use my Posca markers, and I'll just go around and add like some dots, some circles. Whatever comes to mind is what I will add. All right, I feel that's enough mark making for the time being. Actually, I think I'm going to go around the edges here and just add a little border. All right, so I think that I'm going to purposefully add my orange paint rather than random from like what I've been doing. And before I can do that, I want to add my centerpiece, my focal point. And I need to decide, okay, so that's going to be some journaling room there. Decide how I want to do this. I want to ink up around the edges. So far, I haven't inked up anything around the edges, and I'm cool with that because of the way that everything was blended together. I don't know how much you would notice it anyhow after adding all those inks and colors. And yeah. So as you see, the ombre is not really visible just to look at it. But when I look at it, I see, okay, it's whiter. We get blue, we get dark blue, and we get up into the black. So I can still see it. I know that it's there. And I want to put something like this. And then I have these butterflies. I just ink up around the edges of those also. And I may, on this page, add... I think I will. I think I'll add some coffee stain paper to that page for more journaling space. I think the page is beautiful and I want to see it, but I also think that I do intend on using it for a writing journal, so I want to make sure I have journal space. I have this lighter piece. It doesn't go too badly with this one. I was thinking maybe a darker one, but I'm thinking maybe that lighter one will work. So I'm going to keep it. I want to use that. What I could do, and I think what I'm going to do, I'll make my hinge a little smaller, and then I can open this up so I can see this pretty work here, and I can journal here and here. So it won't be hidden journal. more like hidden artwork. And then I'll glue that down there, right there, with some tacky glue. It's on the opposite side. Actually, what I could do, there isn't anything on the opposite side yet. So I could put it here like this, and then when I open, yeah, that's what I want to do. So I want to put my glue here, and then I'm going to slide this on the edge of the page like this. Here we go. That's what I want to do. Now, these are, that's going to go like that. Try not to make anything too precious. I remind myself of that over and over and over, because it's so easy for me to think, oh, I can't cover that up because, you know, I really like that. But then in the end, after I do cover it up, I'm like, yeah, that was a good decision to do. And if it wasn't, well, then it wasn't, right? Okay, these are not perfectly symmetrical, but I think they'll work together anyhow. They will be fine, actually. Let's put some glue here. And that can be like a little page tab. And then once the glue dries from where I glued it together, if I want, I can cover the white edges with some ink so it's not so noticeable. But I like that, those butterflies there. So I feel this part is complete here. We're still going to add some orange. Now over here, of course, I have added orange already with the butterflies, so I really don't need to. I'm trying to decide, okay, if I put it down here, then I just have these in a straight row, and I really don't like that idea, so I'm going to have to put it up here. I would have preferred to have, I should have thought about it. Again, guys, there I go, not thinking. Can this be torn off? Not without ripping paper, probably. Although, does it matter? Yes, it will matter. So we're going to leave that alone. This is going to go up here, so I can glue that down. Now, my layers today are all in my mixed media layers with my painting here, rather than paper layers that I like to add in the texture. So again, you can see that we have lots and lots of texture on here, but it's not texture where it is like physical, where you can actually put your hands on it and feel it. Although you can a little bit here. So now I think I'll put, this butterfly is going to go up here because this one's down here. I'll put them up here. And then I'll get my watercolors activated and decide where I want to add a little bit of orange watercolor. So let me get some water and a brush. All right, so the orange that I'm going to use is an orange red. And I will just, like here and there, add a little color. Oh, I'm loving it. I already like it, and I just added a little bit. We'll just get some over here. I think the orange will make this page pop. Now I need to tell myself, be careful, don't go overboard. I think that's going to be enough right there. I will add just a little bit to my page here. It won't spread as well because this page hasn't been treated with anything. And then over here on this side, I'll add to the same corner. And then that completes our page for ombre. Let me get this dry. So I'm feeling a little bad that I've lost my ombre. I'm not feeling bad with what I've made because I really like this. But it's like, oh, well, we really can't see the ombre. And I'm toying with the idea of doing a patch up here. I'm thinking though, I probably better do it on a scrap piece of paper, like maybe a piece of the ledger paper, because if I don't and I ruin this, I'm going to feel really worse than losing my ombre to begin with. So I'm going to take this paper, and we already have some blue on it. Let me just, I want to work on just one section. I don't want the whole thing. I want it to be small. So I am going to take the blue paint, and sparingly this time, I'm going to use just a little bit of blue paint and put on the center. I'm going to do it the same way I did the other page. I'll put the blue paint right on the center. And then I'm going to need a little more because that's already getting dry. And then I will clean my brush off, my palette knife, and then I'll take the white and I'll do it the way I'd like to do it, like I should have done the first time, and add the white at the bottom. And then I'll add some Payne's Gray at the top, very little of the Payne's Gray. Oh, sorry, I'm not in frame. Very little on the edge of my knife, and put it on my paper like that. All right, then I'll clean that off again. And I'm going to start by pulling my white up and then my blue down, and see what I can get by mixing it in the center. And my blue, maybe, well, here it goes. First I was thinking maybe my blue was too dry, that I didn't have enough, but okay. Spread my excess paint. Then I'll go over here with the black, and I'll pull the black down, trying to keep the black pure at the top. I'm going to get rid of that excess, and then I'm going to take my blue and pull that down, and I do need a little bit more blue. Okay, so then I'll take my blue up, black down, trying to stay away from the edge. Get rid of the excess paint. That blue up again. Okay, I'm over mixing, and so I had it at the point where I should have left it, and then I over mixed. So now I need to either fix it or walk away. It's good enough. That at least gets my ombre back. I'll dry that. Bring my book back. Now I could have went on and I could have added more colors and tried to do a better job. There it is. It's back. It's up there. I wished I would have put it behind my butterfly down here. I could put it over the butterfly. I could add it just to the page here. There's so many options of where I could put this. I think I want to add it up here. And then I think I'll find a quote or something to put on that. So some tacky glue, but I'm not going to hide it this time, guys. I want to see it. I want to specifically know and remind myself, yes, I did do the prompt here. There we go. And then let me look for just a little word or something to put there. I have a label, or a smaller label. I'll just put that there. There's my butterfly page with ombre. What do we think? Are you going to go ahead and try doing this yourself? Give it a whirl? Or have you already and you would like to share yours? the bottom of our page, the top, over here. You can see all that yummy goodness. Let's open up this page. We can see more of the yummy goodness. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this project, and we shall see you again soon. My goodness, we only have 6 more days to go till the end of January. Bye now.